What's up, YouTube, and what you know? My name is Domin0 with the Zero, and welcome back to my personal Kanto Gym Leaders tier list, Part 2. Last week was Part 1, where we went over the low tiers, numbers 7 through 10. If you didn't see that, make sure you check it out. We turned this into a 3-part series because I didn't want the videos to be too long. We'll finish this series likely early next week, so make sure you subscribe so you can see that. The scoring that we're using was detailed at the beginning of last week's video, so make sure to look at that if you're confused on how I came up with this scoring system. I hope you enjoy today's tier list. Next, we'll move on to obviously the mid tiers. These gym leaders are the ones with some depth or at least something special to them. First is Blue, the Viridian City gym leader in 2nd generation games. He was originally the rival in 1st generation games and ultimately the first champion that you fight. You first meet him in 2nd generation in Cinnabar Island, where he is soul searching. He then goes back to his gym to wait for your battle. Blue seemed to take over this gym after losing at the Indigo League in the 1st gen. He was replaced by Lance and seems to have gotten a demotion in the gym challenge system. So for what we know of Blue, his history, personality, and design, we'll just get him a 4. His gym design is overly and unjustifiably simple in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the gym incorporates moving tiles on the floor, making it pretty annoying. It took me a couple minutes looking at it to see the path to go. So his gym design is overly simple, and annoying gym designs get him a 2. Now, the gym difficulty is a completely different story. He's definitely the strongest gym leader in Kanto, which is how it should be. His team is diverse, which can cause some serious trouble. From Blaine to Blue and Crystal, his levels jump from 50 highest to 54 lowest and a 58 ace on Blue's team, and there's really nowhere good to train for the battle, so it's quite difficult. His Pidgeot has Mirror Move, Alakazam has Psychic, Rhydon with Earthquake, Gyarados with Hydro Pump, Exeggutor with Sunny Day Solar Beam, and Arcanine with Flamethrower. Every Pokemon he sends out has something good. So his gym difficulty is a very solid 10. In the anime, we aren't going to count Gary Oak as the Blue counterpart, as Gary was never a gym leader. Blue's total score is only a 4.6, but that's without any anime score. If he had an anime score, he would likely have a higher score than some of the other leaders in this mid-tier. So that's why we've put him at the bottom of the mid-tier. Moving along in our mid-tiers, next up is Koga, the original Fuchsia City gym leader. He pulls off the ninja design quite well. He also makes his own medicine for his Pokemon. At his gym, he mentors people in both Pokemon and becoming a ninja, like his daughter Janine, who winds up taking over the gym when he gets upgraded. Speaking of which, he's the only Kanto gym leader that gets upgraded to Elite 4, which ups his rank quite a bit. His history, personality, design gets him a 7. Speaking of his gym, the gym design is quite unique. Invisible walls is a cool idea, even though you can see where to go if you look closely. His whole idea is to be a ninja, and I think this gym design pulls that off nicely. The gym difficulty is quite hard. The level jump in this gym is pretty insane. If you go through all the routes in Silphco before taking on this gym, you should be okay, especially if you have ground, fire, or psychic types. The battle could wind up being pretty easy. Koga's big thing is to use Toxic, so if his Pokemon survive more than a couple turns, this could become a factor. So the gym difficulty gets a 6. In the anime, Koga was only shown in 1 episode. He was super quick and easy thanks to Team Rocket interrupting and Ash's Charmander just toasting his Venomoth. Koga's biggest draw is that he was upgraded to the Elite 4, which is a huge deal. Isn't that where all gym leaders aim for? There are many that say they're looking up to the leaders, Brock looking up to Bruno, Misty looking up to Lorelei, but Koga is the only one to pull it off. His total score is a 5.9, earning him a place in the mid-tier. In the middle of the mid-tier is my favorite Kanto gym leader, Brock, the Pewter City gym leader. His name is likely a pun. He's a black man, he uses rock-type Pokemon. B-Rock, Brock. He's a very serious and professional man and one of the only trainers in the Pewter City area. That is, in the game. He's a very serious and professional man. He is the first gym leader, which immediately gets him some points. He's pretty much the only main character that ever talks about being a breeder, with only side characters mentioning it in both the game and the show. And as I said, he is my favorite character. I am he am I am Brock is me. So his history, personality, and design get him a 4. The gym design is quite simple, with it being the first gym. That's a little understandable. You do have the ability to dodge trainers if you want to in everything except gold, silver, and crystal, though that might not be smart depending on your starter. The heart gold, soul silver gym looks pretty awesome. So this simple gym design, but good gym design later on, gets him a 5. Speaking about the difficulty of the game, it's pretty easy mode if you pick 2 out of the 3 starters, though it's very difficult in yellow because you obviously start with Pikachu. Onix has Screech and Bind, which is broken in Gen 1 if you're not prepared for it and if you're slower than the Onix. So this gym, again, is pretty simple, especially if you picked either Squirtle or Bulbasaur, so it will get a 4. In the anime, similar to Misty, we have to figure out just how much we want to say. Brock started off as the rock-hard gym leader, as he says, but then softened up as time went, especially after he joined the group. In the first gen anime, he was very reserved with his Pokemon, though he could hold his own with his Onix if he needed to. He was also the comic relief of the group, always being friend-zoned, which I feel your pain. Lastly, he was the brains and resources of the group while he was with them, so his anime appearances get him an 8. As I said, Brock is my favorite character in the anime, so my scores might be a little high, but being the first gym leader earns a total score of 6.2 and a solid place in the mid-tier. At the top of the mid-tiers of the Kanto gym leaders is Giovanni, the original Viridian City gym leader. He has a tough guy name, perhaps a name affiliated with the Mafia. He certainly looks like a big bad guy and is the main antagonist of the games he's in. After you explore the entire region and finish off Team Rocket and the first 7 gyms, you go back to Viridian City, the second city you were in, the first gym you saw, and who runs it? Giovanni, the guy you fought many times along the way. So his history, personality, and design get him a 7. Speaking of the gym design, this is perhaps the most elaborate gym in Kanto. You passed this gym, as I said, in the second town you were in, and now you're taking it on. The gym itself has a ton of trainers and a revive sitting in it. Like, you might beat us, but we're going to kill something in the process. The gym is very randomly laid out, just kind of thrown together. But it's cool overall and earns a 9. By this point in the game, all of the gyms you should take on should be pretty manageable, especially a monotype ground type, like this one. Though all of his Pokemon have something crazy with them. The trio has Sand Attack, Nidoqueen has Body Slam and Poison Sting, Nidoking has Poison Sting and Thrash. And if you go in underleveled at all, his Rhydon will OHKO you with Fissure and Horndrill. Once you defeat him, he hands you Fissure, then laughs and leaves forever. What a guy. Like I said, ground types should be easy to beat, just don't try to do it with your starter Venusaur. In the anime, Giovanni is kind of difficult because the story splits between the movie and the show, but it's said that he and Dr. Fuji are the ones that created Mewtwo, and then he wound up controlling Mewtwo until he broke out with all of his machines and all of that. In the anime show, Gary kind of destroys him before he's forced to use Mewtwo, where he beats Gary, but then Mewtwo immediately breaks out. He does make regular appearances in the anime, showing up to talk to the Team Rocket that we know, even all the way out in Alola. So his anime self will get a 5. Giovanni's depth alone as the leader of Team Rocket earns him the top spot in the mid-tier of this tier list with a total score of 6.7. That'll do it for this video. As I said last week, I didn't realize how much I was talking about each gym leader and really don't want to put out super long videos for this. Early next week, maybe Tuesday, we will have the last part of this tier list. You already know who's going to be on it, but make sure you come back to see what the order is. If you enjoyed this video, show your support and hit that like button. If your favorite gym leader was in the mid-tier of my list, let me know why you like them so much in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and have a blessed day.